Hi, everyone. Welcome. You know, some of us know that we're affected by the thoughts of others. And lots of us think we say whatever we want to say and we're not affected by the thoughts of others. But I would challenge you to challenge that within yourself, actually, because really, especially when something is in our social consciousness, we're not typically aware of it. And history, especially for women, history is full of examples of society, putting women in a box and really challenging our ability to say what we want to say. Hi, Sarah. And so, and that goes to women are thought to have been, erratic and emotional and having too many feelings and not knowing what to do with those in our history. And that led to anything from being ostracized to institutionalized to, therapists actually used to orgasm women to release their emotional powers, to being stoned as witches or sent out of the town because they're witches. And so there's a whole history of, women being oppressed for having feelings, for having thoughts, and not being respected for having these thoughts. And so I'm mentioning that because it can't help but affect us that we have this kind of history from our past, from throughout the history of the world, basically. And we're still have a long way to go before women's voices are really, really heard. And I'm working on that. And in fact, for myself, when I worry about the thoughts of others, one of the things that I've learned is that our threshold is the lowest thought that we are afraid of that somebody might have. And that's what we tend to adjust our behavior to. I want to say that again because I think that's so important. Our threshold is the lowest thought of what we think someone might have about us, or the fear of what we think someone might have about us. Whether they have that thought or not, we're not always accurate. And so when you think about how we adjust our behavior, that it's not uncommon to adjust our behavior based on that threshold, the lowest thought that someone might have about us, is like horrifying. And I just made the decision, screw it. I just made the decision, I'm not going to comply with that. That's not who I am, and that's not how I want to live my life. And so, an example is when I started doing these Facebook Lives, when I started just really engaging more with the world and just really, hi Tracy, and really showing up and speaking my voice. You know what my fears were? This is silly, but I'm guessing it's not unusual. I really feared, what would people from high school say? What would an old boyfriend think? And so that was my lowest threshold. That's what I learned is my lowest threshold was the worst thought that they think I was stupid or silly, or my family would be thinking that oh, she doesn't know what she's talking about. Hi, Nirja. And so I'm going through a rocky part here, so I have to pay attention to where I'm walking. And so I just made a decision that I'm not going to live along someone else's lowest threshold of who they think I am, or who I should be showing up in the world as. And so I just made that decision, and holy cow, that was freeing. It was freeing just to I get to be me. And what also happened is that for example, friends from high school, from when I was younger, ended up being incredibly supportive. And so my thought about what they might think wasn't even true, at least for some of the people. I don't know, maybe for others it is, but I'm not going to let that be my threshold for achieving my dreams or where I want to go in life. And so as a woman, that's what I want to share and invite you into, is you decide what your threshold is. Don't let someone else make that choice for you. You get to decide, and you get to live your life according to a threshold that's much, much higher, that's going to help you achieve your dreams. And even if you have to, write your dreams down and put them on your refrigerator and put them out in the open so that becomes your goal, that becomes your vision, rather than that low threshold that other people might have for you. So go for it, you know, don't hold yourself back. Don't let others tell you how you need to live your life. So yes, I'm so happy to share that message because it's been so liberating for me. So thank you so much for being here today. And yes, I look forward to doing this again. All right, I hope you have a beautiful, amazing day. Bye.